Good morning. Hey, it's Steve Bedell, your EXP Realtor in the Villages, Florida. Coming to you today. Today's September 5th. And as we always do, the beginning of the month, we've got a market report for you. Show you what's going on in the market. And more importantly, trying to point out anything that we see that might require special attention or special things that are happening in the market here in the Villages, Florida. So if we look, the very first figure that we looked at our active listings on September 5th. 480 active listings in the Villages. It just keeps going up. You take a look at these numbers here, and we take a look. Even in February, 386, boom, they just ballooned. Now we're up to 480, over 100 more listings that they had from earlier this year. So we still have that issue of plenty of active listings. So if you're a buyer, well, you got plenty to pick from. If you're a seller, that means it's going to be harder to sell your property because you've got a lot more competition. All right, so let's take a look at some of the other numbers here. The square foot price is $458. That's a little on the light side there, too. Days on market, they're taking a little while to sell. No kidding, because you got more properties to sell. And new listings, 42 new listings this week. Now, this data is from the end of last week. All right. So if we take a look, though, here's another number I want you to notice. The reason I put these in blue, it's not earth-shaking like the red I put on something really important, I think. But we got 42 new markets coming on the property, and we got 24 coming off. So see what happens if we get 24 coming off and 42 being added. This number is probably going to keep going up if things continue at this pace. They're going off the market a lot slower than they're coming on the market. Square foot price, $274. That's high. It might be a little aberration. We'll see what happens with that. But you can look based on the other numbers here that seems a little high. Days on the market, that's hanging in there at about this range of about mid-40s. And this continually, when I look at my weekly chart and I see how many properties have been reduced in price, I see quite a few. When I see how many properties have increased their listing price, well, that's a whole different story because it's usually zero or maybe one property. So properties going on the market, over half of them have to reduce the listing price in order to sell. And that percentage is over 6% still, just a hair over 6%. I know we did have one time when they hit 8% in 1 week, but again, that might have been an aberration or just a one-time thing or be caused by a certain group of properties. All right, so there's a pending. Now if we look at closed on 38 properties this week, the square foot price, you can see down here, what they finally end up selling for, $242 a square foot. So you can see that is down there on the low side like it has been lately. And days on market, 47. That's hanging in there about the same. And reduced over half, of course. And the percentage, 4.26%. At least at 4.2. I don't see it here on this chart, but we did have some times where that percentage was over 5%. So at least this isn't too bad. The properties are not going down as much as they used to. Okay? All right, so that's your market report. And what can we take from this? Tons of properties on the market. If you are a buyer, great time to buy. If you're a seller, it's a little more difficult for you, and it's going to take a little longer, and you may have to reduce price. But again, if you're a buyer, if you're waiting for interest rates to come down, I would not recommend that because you can see the prices are not going down dramatically. They are going down, but I think they've kind of leveled off into this area. And if the rates drop suddenly, let's say they drop the whole percentage point, or over the next few months, they drop a whole percentage point. What do you think is going to happen? Well, a lot of the properties will rise in price. So what you gain in a lower interest rate may be offset by the new selling price. So if you're a buyer right now, this is a great time. Now, of course, if you're a cash buyer, which 65% of the people in the villages are, then you don't need to worry about the interest rate. So I would say right now is an absolutely fabulous time to buy a house. So please call me if you're buying or selling, because we got tricks to selling houses. We're going to help you on both ends, whichever side that you'd like to hire us on. And we will take care of you and make sure we get that house sold or bought at a great price. And it being printed, we take care of our clients like gold. We treat you like gold. We treat everybody like we're buying our own house. Okay. All right. Rambled on there a little at the end. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Really appreciate it. It really helps our numbers. Okay. All right. Until next time. Bye now.